Well, I really owe that all to Bert Keane,
Bert Keane, the Bert Keane.
the Bert Keane. I was playing badminton out at Regency Rackets Club in Brampton, where I grew up. After I graduated university, and I played competitive badminton as a junior and then in university, and came back and was playing badminton at Regency. And Bert was the young squash pro there, and basically came and dragged me off of the badminton court and said, "You have to come and start playing squash," and which he did. And then after he left, Rob Lefko was there, who you know very well for a while. It was really Bert. Bert came, and we remained lifelong friends, until his passing. Very, very good friends, and he really was. He didn't let it go. I mean, I was like, I have no interest in playing squash. Why would I go back in that dingy court? Back in the bowels of the club. I'm a badminton player, but he persisted, and the rest is history.
Wow, you talk about another great ambassador of our sport, and just that little thing that Bert did with you and the impact it made on your life, and so many other people too, right? It's all connected. So that's amazing. I did not know that story. That's really incredible.
I mean, I love how competitive squash was. I mean, I'm a very competitive person in, probably everything I do. I loved how competitive it was, but I think I really liked the nature of the doubles game, especially, the setting up the play, the angles, the reading your opponents. I really am very analytical, and I guess it appealed to me because of that. The game appealed to me. It was extremely interesting to me to be able to figure out how to win. I think the great thing about our game and squash doubles is that when people come off the court, irregardless of how the match went on the court, the sportsman-like behavior takes over at that point, and everybody puts the match behind them and moves on and has a social, and sets up a social game for the following week. I think that's the nature of our game. So well, of course, I mean, Tim and I met at the Mayfair Club, back in the 90s, and the rest is history, of course. But yeah, he was always there for me, supporting me every single match, whether it was the first match of the tournament, the last match, if it was the finals, if we were lucky enough to get there. We always joke around about him carrying my bag, but he did, and that was great because I'm tired. He knew my game and knows my game better than anyone, and was really able to, critical times in critical matches, not just for me but for my partner, pick out, give us pointers and suggestions that, in many cases turned around matches. So there was that, but just all the emotional support. And, I often didn't, I was emotional after losses and emotional after wins, both, but he was always there consistently supporting me. So well, I think for the young players, today it seems like everybody wants to be super aggressive and hit winners and go for their shots all the time. And I think I've always preached patience on the court and setting up the play. And I actually recently had this conversation with Steph Hewitt about the change in the game. And I think that my advice to young players is that don't force it, set the play up. You have a partner, make sure that you are not putting your partner in jeopardy. It's a doubles game, and that's how it should be played, as a partnership. Maybe in the early days, have one less glass of red wine, on Saturday night.
So as they say, without further ado, I will pass it on to a wonderful human being and an absolute dominant force on the squash court, Ontario Squash Hall of Famer, Leslie Freeman.
Thank you, Jim. And it's quite an odd thing to be doing this, but first of all, thank you, Jim, for nominating me and being so persistent in the nomination process through COVID and cancellation of the event. I feel incredibly honored to be recognized by the Ontario Hall of Fame. I think about all the squash players and builders and coaches who've been received this award prior to me, and I certainly don't feel like I'm as deserving as many of those recipients before. However, what a great honor, and thank you very much. Got a lot of memories flowing for me, and brought back great memories looking over the list. I have a picture book that I created with pictures, and thank you very much for making this happen.
Well, I'm just so glad we were able to make it happen. And, I think I can speak on behalf of the squash community when I say that, we love you, we respect you, and we will never forget the impact that you have made on our game of squash, on and off the court. So thank you for everything and all the beautiful memories.
Thank you, Jim.
With you, I can be sad with you. Just take my hand and fly up through the dreams where the skies are so clear. With you, I wanna stay with you. With you, I love the way